Whether it is attraction with women, whether it is attraction with finances, whether it is attraction for serendipity, for those synchronicities, those really interesting and unique moments in life where things like they happen to you as a consequence of almost coincidence. I remember bumping into a friend I hadn't seen for years after having a thought about them the week before in the middle of my town in Bournemouth, and they were on a little stag do, and I ended up going for drinks with them and then going out on their stag do. And again, I hadn't spoken to this person in 5 years, and I saw them on social media, and you know, it's hard to put down and measure what fundamentally that is down to, but I think we can take confidence in how our energetic field changes when we begin to hold ourselves with more humility, with more honor, and you know, fundamentally at a higher vibrational level. And this vibrational level is real. It's something that we all have, and it's intuitional. You hear these things, I have a good gut feeling about this person. And on a maybe more scientific way, you can understand this is how your nerves actually interpret the auric field in your environment. Your solar plexus has a ganglion and plexus of nerves in your gut, and they extend past your own flesh and into the air around you. And that's where intuition comes from, if you're going to again describe it in a more scientific way. But I had this story I wanted to share with you about how this happens, and I wanted to add a little bit of color in that as well. So let's go on to our brother here, Anna Tiger, the truth about magnetism in this person's particular journey with abstinence, with celibacy, whatever name is most ingratiating to your heart. So let me tell you about my recent experiences, gentlemen. I trust that you're all doing well. Magnetism, as we've established, is one of the most potent benefits of SR, which many of us in the subreddit would love to experience, and not only would love to, but have experienced. But some of us just see it once, here and there on a particular streak. Some of us don't even experience it. A minority experiences mind-boggling levels of magnetism when on a streak. I have the answer to why you are not experiencing this magnetism. So first and foremost, I want to make it clear on what a healthy lifestyle is for me. And this is important in the latter part of the discussion. So a couple of not too unfamiliar points to highlight here, but eating only home-cooked meals, avoiding any sort of packaged food. Now, I've done a lot of videos on diets, on optimizing testosterone, on what I believe is the most potent diet for a modern man. And you know, this can turn into a real religion, right? My keto religion, my carnivore religion, my vegetarian religion. And I don't have time for ideology, and again, my religion is better than your religion in that respect. But I do believe there's something that we can all agree upon in terms of what we should avoid. And those things that you should avoid are those store-bought items that, for the sake of shelf life, will destroy you in the long run. And one of the ones for me, especially here in the UK, I'm not sure about, you know, your local country, if it's the States, if it's Canada, if it's maybe some of the European countries, but rapeseed oil is so prevalent in all packaged food. All you need to do is look on the back, and one of the highest grossing ingredients, and by the way, the ingredients are listed in most prevalent in the product to least prevalent. On the higher end will be a preservative, which is rapeseed oil, one of the 6 deadly seed oils that cause inflammation in the gut and just deteriorate your health. So if there's something that I would highly encourage that you do, is you have to cook from scratch. I know it is a little bit more time consuming, but you can do it in a way whereby you can batch cook, meal prep, or I mean, look, I buy everything fresh most days. I actually have a pretty empty refrigerator. I only buy food that, well, I don't do a weekly shop, put it that way. If I buy something in the day, I'm typically eating it in that day. So that's what I'll say on that. Allocating 9 hours to sleep. Maybe disagreeable here in my personal opinion. I believe, well, I mean, it's a touchy subject. Again, I believe there is nuance to this. I think 9 hours is a very safe answer, but I'm leaning more towards 8 is healthy for me. I think you can oversleep. I know you can oversleep, and it actually inhibits you. I have clients that I support who do very well on 5 hours sleep, 6 hours sleep. Now, high performing individuals is not for everybody, but I believe in being outcome orientated. What's working for you? Weightlifting or cycling in a day, I believe you should be weightlifting. There's no excuse for every human being to weightlift at least 4 times per week. Keep screen time under an hour. Getting a sun bath every alternate day. Getting vitamin D into the body. Vitamin D is one of those supplements that I have on my desk here, actually right in front of me, because it's one of those essential supplements. I know you guys have been asking for a supplement video, but this is the one I take. I'll do a full stack video. But vitamin D is one of those essential ingredients for testosterone, optimizing hormone health, and also your immune system. And just to tie this back to this idea of increasing magnetism, magnetism comes at a consequence of virility, of your body being healthy, of your hormones being optimized, of your endocrine system being optimized. And you will secrete pheromones in abundance. You will seek, it's like attracts like in that way. And I'll expound upon that point a little bit more. And sunbathing, getting in the sun and bathing in its rays, allowing it to permeate into your skin to get vitamin D is critical for that. And if you live in a Scandinavian country, maybe like Finland, this should be, this is so critical. It's so critical for your health. So this is what this individual perceives is a healthy lifestyle. When I was just on SR, along this healthy lifestyle, I would get magnetism working once in a blue moon. It would occur when I least expected it. That would be maybe 2 times in a month or 1 time in 3 months, basically unpredictable. Then I started meditating about a year ago on February 2023 while on a streak. I started meditating because I'm experiencing so much frustration and anger and anxiousness from the excess energy of retention. Meditation slowly took the expectation of magnetism away. Thereby I started getting more magnetism. Oh, the irony. God is a comedian. Yes, he is. Through the process of meditation, I became extremely calm. I lost the tendency to expect magnetism to work, which made magnetism occur more. By more, I mean crazy levels. I lost fear. I literally have no fear of death even. That's a really interesting point because they say meditation is preparation for death. When you're meditating, you're realizing that you're the immortal soul. You're the immortal soul. You're the Atman. You're the Pneuma. You're the breath within the breath. You are not this body. You are not this mind. That's a tremendous mantra, by the way, that you can start doing, well, after this video, is meditate, sit down. You can go Padmasana or Siddhasana, beginner's pose with your legs crossed underneath you, and bring your attention to the breath. And then one of the mental postures or asanas or mantras that you can begin to repeat in your mind is, as you breathe in, I am not this body. Out, I am not even this mind. Think about that. I'm not this body. I am not even this mind. I am not the body. I am not even this mind. Because you're not. You're only observing these things. You have a body. You have a mind. But you are not these things. What you are is the breath within the breath. You are the soul. You are the Atman. You are the witness. You are the observer of this divine equipment you've been given in order to experience the world. When you were born into this world, you were given a car. You were given a car to drive and navigate and look through the window around the world and experiencing it in all its grandeur. But it's a mistake to believe that you are the car. You're not the car. You're driving the car. And then when the car gets decrepit, old and dusty and rusty and will eventually break down and won't work anymore, you will exit your car. Only you will remain. That's the immutable soul, the immortal soul. There's a very good book on this called Seth Speaks. And it's about, I believe the title is actually called The Immutable Soul. It might not be immutable. It might be immortal or unchanging. Anyway, my desire to grow spiritually skyrocketed. I can somewhat read people's thoughts. I just noticed this a couple of weeks ago. Intuition, maybe in a way that you can understand this a little bit more. I became more aware of my own stupidity. I understood very well that I am not this body. I didn't even read that. This is my first time reading it, but I told you, I am not this body. I'm not even this mind. My head is completely silent even as I write this post. So the idea is when you chase something, you repel it. When you chase, you repel. chases a longing, a desiring, you're in many ways, I've made this point before, many of us can make the mistake in exchanging virtual lust for physical lust. You're lusting for magnetism, you're lusting for female attraction, and it repels it, it takes it away from you, doesn't bring it to you. You can keep counting the days, but counting the days is just a manifestation of this kind of state that you do not have that which you seek, that you're in a constant state of waiting, of wanting, of not having. It's really a paradigm you need to understand. And the practical application out of that paradigm is the one that this individual is sharing here. Is meditation is, recognizing that you are not that emotion of craving, of desire, of longing, that what you are in this moment is boundless. Personal point to note, magnetism didn't start occurring more when I right away started meditating. I actually started experiencing magnetism more when I took meditation more seriously, which was just last month. So for me, it took 10 months of meditation to turn on the magnetism. So the secret of magnetism is to stop expecting it. Don't think about it. The best way to stop thinking about it is meditation. Meditation makes you rise above the lower tendencies. If you try to consciously stop expecting it, it won't work. Your subconscious is expecting magnetism to occur. Therefore, you will not receive it. Meditation is truly how you can stop expecting it. After long periods of consistent meditation, you will stop expecting everything from the world, let alone magnetism. When you don't desire it, it will come chasing you. Yes, indeed. So there's another important delineation for me to mention here, is that the way you meditate is very, very important. And I made the mistake in the past of putting down a timer and going, today I'm going to meditate for 20 minutes minimum. As I get older and as I get deeper into my practice, I recognize that it's not really a consequence of time, but it's a consequence of quality of the meditation, how deep my meditations become. And most of my meditations now are preceded by breath work. Breath work is like pouring petrol on the meditation. I get into states so deep after breath work that I couldn't achieve, or I haven't achieved I started meditating in 2018, that I haven't ever achieved since then, or 3 years into the practice, I should say. And then the objective should always be around that grand goal. It is realizing your higher self, realizing the soul. If you're religious, your particular deity that you pray to is a really good object of meditation. So for example, if you're a Christian, you can meditate to Jesus Christ. And I like to imagine your object of your religion, of your deity, of your God in your heart. So you're meditating to Jesus Christ in your heart, or you're meditating to Krishna in your heart, or Allah, or whatever that idea of God is for you. In rereading the Bhagavad Gita, as well as the Quran, as well as the Holy Bible, and many of the passages in the Gita have a lot of continuity with other religions. And when Krishna is speaking to Arjuna, one of the things that he says is, if you can remember me, in meditation, you would have achieved samadhi, which is this idea of enlightenment, of transcendence of the body, of the mind. And once you become that which is ever whole, you will never have longing again. And once you dissipate that feeling of longing, like when the logs crumble to ash in a hot fire, the feeling dissipates, it disintegrates, and the world falls to your feet in that way. But gentlemen, let me know what your experience has been with magnetism. If you have any thoughts on the sentiment, have you been trading in virtual lust for physical lust? And are these theories or are these facts? Speak soon.